So my name is Lingping Gao. I'm the founder and the CEO of NetBrain. So how did the NetBrain get founded? Actually, years ago, I was taking my CCIE exam, and I failed in my first try after I'm very confident saying I'm going to get it. So I said, second time I passed the CCIE, I said, I'm going to create a software to help those guys to get CCIE, because that would be so difficult. A lot of people want it. But in the process of doing this, that's around 2000, and I figured out this technology or computer-aided network engineering technology can help enterprise manage a network. So one thing leads to another. 2004, I quit the company and did the NetBrain. But today, I wanted to talk about all the things behind it after 10 years. When the topic actually is focusing on the network automation, right? Very instant topic, as old as network. The day we have network, we have talking about network automation. But I put a twist there. I say, I'm talking about a here and a now, right? What does that means? So let me start with one of the songs who inspired my, my sayings. The here and now. Anybody heard of Luther Rogers? Anybody? Yeah? So this song, let's play a little bit of it. You can read the things. Sorry, guys, my sound is not as good. I would sing for you otherwise. But the story here is the pledge of love feels like the pledge of network automation solved the problem started many, many years ago. Everybody say, yes, if I can automate this, then this problem will go away, right? So today I'm going to talk about it here and now, because many years after this, where we are. So I'm going to start with the network problems today. I mean, as you all know, last 30 years when networks was made, a lot has changed. And that's the pace of changing is accelerating for sure, right? You're going to the Cisco Live floor, you're going to Intel floor, you're going to ISA security floor. Things are changing and getting faster and faster. 30 years ago, we worried about a local area network, token rings on all the Ethernet, DECnets. If you're old enough, a lot of them here are very young. And 20 years ago, we started looking at a series of wide area network. Remember the frame relay things, looking at the MPLS, even the ATM piece, right? And then we're going to 10 years ago about a distributed computing network. And today, cloud, virtual, and future, maybe even today, if we couldn't mix now and the future, is the software-defined network. How many years of you have been in the network field for over 10 years? 10 years? Yeah, wow. 20 years? Wow, you're young. That's great. Take advantage of it. I'm in the middle, 15 years. So what are the challenges here we're facing here? I say the last 30 years, well, John Chambers stepping down or stepping up to become a chairman of this company. But the rest of us, the Mr. Joe bread owner, had to deal with these issues, the complex problem issues, right? And this is a number I'm getting from just a third party here. That Gartner says 42,000 average, cost of downtime, and a Fortune company each year lost about $46 million. This number can go drastically higher based on my experience. And downtime per year, 87 hours per year with the enterprise network. Think about it, 87 hours. And each problem typically took average about 200 minutes to solve, 3 hours. It's not that 1 hour MTTR. When you have a problem, average, you're going to expect 200 minutes to solve it. And if this does not keep all of us awake, then we're looking at the cyber security, right? All this attack going on, all this hack going on, and the Internet of Things, right? We used to be able to figure out all my IP address and a MAC address and put it into a spreadsheet or put it into a software. We call it a one IP table. Remember those days? When I was a network engineer, we used to have that. IP MAC, all matched together. This is my enterprise network. Not anymore. Think about the Internet of Things. How many things come in and out of your network? So network is drastically, exponentially more complex today. And so here is that promise. There's a lot of problems. That's automation. Let's do automation, right? Automated troubleshooting, automated changes. Remember the RCA, root cause analysis in the 2000. Remember the NCCM say we're going to solve the configuration issues. There's a netconf. Remember all this SDN, that's DevNet things. If you go around everywhere, right? So this instant promise, automation is on the way, is keeping us going, right? At least for now. So what's the reality? That today I want to talk about that what we really handling network today with two age of tools, right? One is I call the Stone Age, okay? We growing up, but we are locked up in front of computer screens, and what we doing every day is solving problem, command lines, right? The good old friend, reliable. But also, we're promised some Star Trek age technology. Okay, that's what? Here, that's the SDN. So I'm going to read this. Captain says, computer, get me that software-defined network. That is secure, that is high perform, that get it on instantly. And you, Mr. Data, you say, yes, I'm on it. But then Captain said, no, I'm asking the computer to do it. Right? Does that sound like SDN? Right? We say we're going to have SDN, all this being automated. So we are solving this problem, this real-world network problem, in the two, I think, a stream of solution here. One is really the command line things, right? The other one, I call it the future things. Star Trek solution here, right? It's SDN. I'm gonna go against the SDN a lot today here. So the challenge of network automation, I actually call it as here and now. We need a solution that can help me here and now. Not the pledge of that love. Feels so good, but can I get it? I'm sorry. How many of you are married here? Okay, only you? Wow. Then I can have all kinds of jokes on this thing. Yeah, he has 2 kids. He's gonna have 2 kids. Yeah, but that's great. This is making it more fun. The automation is really not, what can I have? Right? Or what I had. It's about here and now. Let's go dive into it. What that means. So the first here and now in real-world network management is actually about a tribal knowledge. Right? Any organization, small, middle, and large enterprise, they have a lot of tribal knowledge that today depend on. If that tribal leader is on the job, the problem is solved very fast. If the tribal leader is not on the job, right, there's a lot more nerve-wracking moment to just figure out the basic information. So we come back with an outage, we say, guys, let's do documentation, right? Let's document it. It's a religious talk on the conference room like this. Well, 99% of 35,000 enterprise do not have automated documentation solution. It's relying on manual. I think that automated documentation is for here and now. What we need here, we need it now, right? So what does that mean? We need a better discovery technology, right? Can give me speed. Also accuracy. I remember AT&T told me when they first signed on as our customer, say, Lingping, when I have discovered every discovery tool in the world, and he said, you cannot find a network management software that don't have a discovery comes with it. But I couldn't rely on none. It could discover a few weeks, and I still see it's running, and I don't know where it's in. And if you accidentally exit it, I don't know what percentage of data I can trust it. Right? So the speed and accuracy, the multi-vendor capability, right? Across all things, router, switch, firewall, everything. And we're talking about the documentation, automation. Can you create it automatically, but dynamically? Dynamically means we cannot consume another 1,000-page documentation, leave there, say, oh, here's your documentation, you're done. That's not useful. What you need is a documentation can be dynamically created. I'm troubleshooting a A/B pass issue. I need that documentation created for me. Now, I have a voice IP issue. Give me a documentation on that voice IP stream, including the QoS and etc. Isn't it? And certainly, the kind of here and now solution should including automatically updating itself. I create a documentation. I want to see what's changed based on my live network, right? It's fair, right? And if my tribal leader agreed that this 4Q gonna move to 8Q, move to 12Q QoS solution, that my documentation can reflect that and without my input, meaning automatically. So this is, I say, here and now solution, right, for automation. The next thing I'm going to talk about is troubleshooting, actually. Troubleshooting is like finding needle in the haystack, right? Find it? Nope yet. Okay. So there's thousands of issues, right, could causing a problem. Well, we all promised root cause analysis tool, right? Didn't work. So what really can help us? What really need in the market? First, when I solve a problem, give me a map, right? Like a metal detector, right? Fine. Give me a map of the problem area. On the map, tell me what's the historical change. right? Can you do that? I mean, I have a slow application. Give me a map of that. I have a multicasting here. I need a map of that multicasting group on that. Secondly, monitoring it. Really, right? Really, we have a problem that happened. We going there, we found it immediately. Most of the problem is it works sometime. It's not a works always. It works sometime. The guy called me and I'll go talk with the problem. He said, it's fine now, but yesterday, I promised, the day before yesterday, it didn't work. What do you do with that, right? You say the problem. So troubleshooter do need this automation capability that I can monitor any parameters that come to my fingertip. I want to look at the QS queue job on that voice over IP queue, right, across this path. I needed to be able to do it in a snapshot that monitor this for 3 weeks or for a week, for a few days, and give me the result. So it's here and now automation we needed. And the elimination of the known issues. Okay, this gets more sophisticated. I solved that problem last time, but next time, how long will it take to solve the same problem, right? Don't we have that discussion, right? I remember talking with the BlackBerry, actually, as one of a customer, upcoming customer. He said, you had that outage resolution. You took, 2 days to solve, many hours. The next time, when a similar problem comes, how long will it take? The guy said, it depends. It depends who is on the job, right? The thing would be, can we actually automate the known issues, automatically check the known issues we've been, when I first became a network engineer, a guy about a 10-year senior of me, first he actually showed me a drawer of this bad cable. I work on a company, Thomson Financial. And he said, Lingping, look at those cables. Each one took us all night troubleshooting to figure it out. Those days. Remember you do the shoe interface, look at a CRC arrow, right? And you probably have examples. It took many people a few days to figure out a bad cable or figure out a duplex mismatch. Is there a way to automatically check those known issues, right? I remember one time I spent all night to figure out a frame relay queue job in our financial network at Thomson. And after that, a couple of days later, I showed off that to a Cisco rep. I said, we did find that in, we did a whole night. I mean, I eat a lot of pizza, did a lot of curse, right? And the guy said, oh, I see this all the time. State Street Bank had this problem, blah, blah, blah. I said, where are you? And I'm looking at it myself and said, this problem probably, happening around the world all the time. Can we put something there just to automatically check those things? Do a shoe frame relay queue job things and say your configuration might cause that queue job increase, your packet will start in job, your financial data will be lost. So elimination, that's the automation we could do. This known issue, can we try to eliminate that so that we focus on the things that is new? So, okay, the third area I want to talk about here and now, the network automation really need is on the change. Okay, change automation, we have it, NCCM tools today, but look, how many of us can use it? I call it, you have to brave enough to use those things, push complex configure change, right? You saw this guy work really hard at making changes. Can you really blame him when he works this hard, right? You probably can kick him, right? Said, you gotta make this clean, but the reality is it's really difficult to do this kind of thing. You make your network organized in a fashion that I make changes, everything in a predictable fashion. It's very, very difficult. What I see here and now helps on automation of network changes. Yes, I do want to help on push change out, but I want to do it in an organized fashion. I do this 3 router, follow with this firewall, follow with this 5 router, and do the check along the way. The check means verify the impact. I make changes on all this device. Those 100 very important traffic flow, are they still there? Are they taking alternative paths? Right? All this kind of verification today we're doing, the routing table, is that changed? Right? I make the access list changes. Am I having 50 more rows, or I'm actually missing 10 rows on the route table, or on the CAM table for that matter? So today we don't have the tool. I think we can leverage that leverage that kind of automation, help us verify the impact, and of course recovery. If I screw up, I can one click to roll back the changes. So this is automation that we think that here and now we need it. And of course, without going to security defense, it does not do a good service about network automation. Today, the network attack became the second largest source of network outages. This is based on recent European survey. The first one was human error, human change. Okay, network is under continuous attack. You hear this company get attacked, that website get attacked, that POS point of sales machine get attacked, and this company get attacked again, right? So these are this famous things. If you ask a CIO, what keep you awake in the night? Now there's a standard answer. Well, that would be a network attack. And if you ask, you heard of the word of network budget, right? It used to be, I don't have network budget, right? Now that has a new meaning. What that means is, I have unlimited budget. If you can solve my network security problem, I can always buy that kind of. So the world is changing. But what we really can help on network defense here is a 3 areas what we're looking at. One, visualize. When something attacking me, I want to see it in real time. What is the components on the path being attacked? Secondly, remediation, right? Can I respond to that attack, shutting down the port, direct the traffic with automation? Right? I remember the time when SQL slam and Code Red, do you guys still remember that denial of service attack? Very malicious, right? In fact, and just hog down 80 mega bandwidth per PC, right? And we literally have to go to the closet, data closet, to go unplug the cable because the switch no longer responds, right? That's how bad that is, And the remediation need to be better, need to be automated. And lastly, proactive protect. Okay, let's look at a network. I'm not talking about the big future things. I'm talking about the here and now. So you guys heard of that major companies, their point of sales machine, credit card machine got hacked. You know how that source traffic got coming from? That source traffic hacked that point of sales machine was coming from a PC with managing the HVAC. Okay, how come that HVAC little managing machine be able to access thousands of the credit card machine? Well, someday, someplace, somebody made the changes of access list or security policy. This traffic is wide open. It may happen months, it may happen years ago. We don't know, right? So in real world network, you have good traffic, the traffic you want to protect. You also have bad traffic. You want a traffic you want to avoid. Give an example. A guy have a VPN access to the company. Should that VPN access be able to reach out your critical database server? You shouldn't. Right? You should have that network blocked. But reality is the policy was there, but after that tribal leader left, another tribal leader come in, didn't get the full information, and the access list get changed, the security policy get changed, and all of a sudden, your PC VPN to the company network can access to those critical machines in the company. Hey, if someday this machine became compromised because your kid click the button in the web browser, you know what will happen, right? The things will get compromised. So proactively protect does mean you network can play a huge role to ensure the good traffic, to block the bad traffic. Okay, said enough about here and now. So what is the solution? Let's do a review of what's out there. What is the network automation solution, past, present, and the future? The first things we're going to talk about is scripting. Wow, the older scripting come with it. I call it the scripting is a divide between rich and poor, meaning rich and poor, I really mean not about the money, about the time. In order to do script, you got to have a lot of time in your hand, right? It's not something, I have a couple hours, I got to get something wrong. You're going to say, I'm going to write a script. It's very difficult. I'm a network guy, became a programmer because I have 100 programmers in my organization. So I work a lot with them. It's not easy at all. It's not a few hours. So you have some organization have a few guys do nothing but scripting. Help you to write a script to check routing, stuff like that. But most of us cannot afford, right? And when going to portability, the script, we write once, we use it only once, isn't it? Right? It said, I'm going to use this script to upload it to the website, download it. Hey, take a challenge of that. Even if it's simple, expect script, there's a lot of tuning up need to be done. And expertise, a lot less than we think. So script has been with us, but it's not a solution here and now, solving the 4 category problem I will talk about: documentation, troubleshooting, network change, and security defense that we really care. The second area we heard a lot about on network automation is NCCM, network configuration and control management. So this is Opswell, this is AutoPoint, this is IBM, this is Cisco Prime. They all have this configuration management tool. Around 2000, there's a big boost on that, and then we need to have this automation. But that's only configuration. the text configuration. And even that, they couldn't have a way to consistently describe the network configuration, right? System configuration, we had some Puppet, right? We have all this, bconf, some solutions there. But the network configuration, this is very rudimentary on this. They truly treat the network configuration as a bunch of text file and keep the history of it. So this hasn't been kept up with actual real world. And sometimes, a lot of time, it is very difficult to adapt to other automation needs. So, with the money we paid on network configuration tool, and with the amount of output we got, I'm using this here. I'm using, the price to pay a crane to pick up a box of apple here. So, what is the newest promise? That's where the sound come from, here and now sound. The newest problem is SDN. SDN try to solve two problems. One is provisioning, agility, right? Can we do this not in average 3 months, but do it in 5 minutes to provision a new network, right? The biggest needs, if you look under the hood, is really the operational automation. We say, network is so difficult to manage, the network troubleshooting, network performance, application performance, let's create a new network called a software-defined network, and that we should solve all the problems. Look at it here, that this is my favorite slide coming from Greg, and talking about existing SDN, micro SDN, centimeter SDN, kilometer SDN at different phase. Where we are here. So let's say we are here. Micro, is 10 to minus what? 6, right? Micro. The centimeter is 10 to minus 2. What is a kilo? It's 10 to 3 orders. So from here to here, the SDN promising 10 to the 9th order of increasement. Means what? 1 billion times better. Whenever you hear this 1 billion times better, are you feel excited? Or you like me actually get depressed? Because nothing promised 1 billion times better will happen anytime soon, right? And when was the last time your salary increased by 5 cents? Right? We talk about 1 billion times better of this. Now, it reminded me of something like in Star Trek. I call it SDN a Star Trek solution. It's a computer transfer me to SDN, right? Hopefully I don't stuck in the middle because where I'm gonna be. So SDN sometimes also they call it a $0 billion venture, meaning there's a lot of discussion, but there's no money to be made or to be bought, to buy. Well, to be fair, our solution do work with the experimental solution of SDN, the ACIs, the open flow solutions. But I be frank there, with all the major customers we have, we look with them, the SDN is really, really early. I talked with Professor Douglas Coma. He wrote it as a textbook of network, computer network used by virtually every university in the world. And we talk about SDN, he said, wow, the SDN should be still in academic lab. It's not ready to primary for the business use. Well, maybe a small area, maybe AT&T that they use in the core network, maybe Google and Facebook who have unlimited amount of network engineer. But what about the rest of us? So here, what I'm going to talk about it today is network automation solution for here and now. For this here and now, the challenge that we're dealing with day to day, Ben going to help me to demo it, but I'm going to actually talk in high level first. What we did, NetBrain, for automation is first we created this operating system of total network. Okay, anything in your network, whether it's multi-vendor, Cisco, Juniper, router, switch, firewall, you have one place, discover and model the entire network. And then user actually through something called a map, dynamic map, to interact with the entire network to do all the automations we'll talk about it. And it's very easy to use, right? It's now, it's here. And so without getting too much detail on the technology itself, but this is not something I myself created in my garage for a few months, right? We actually had over 5 million lines of code behind C++ code behind this. And we have hundreds, nearly 1,000 man-year development to make things easy for the network professional. Just get some idea. Windows 3.1 is a 3 million line of code. And Linux kernel is a 5 million line of code. This is the size of that. So if you're looking at what NetBrain can do, we can look at 2 areas. First area, and as I mentioned, is a map. Any place, anytime you need a network map, network documentation, you can create a dynamic map inside the NetBrain, give you the entire network give you the view of that area you're looking for. And with the design decoded, whether it's multicasting, QoS, routing, anything in your network, the design will be decoded. And also the kind of data model behind it, if any changes happen in your network, you will be seeing in the map, right? And any user activity happen, diagnosis, troubleshooting, collaboration happen around, it will be showing up in the map. And the map is not just a map. It became a user interface between user and a computer, right? That's the first things that NetBrain OS operating system provided. But the biggest thing NetBrain OS provided is the app capability. Just like you buy a phone, right, smartphone, you have the basics, you have to download the app, make it more functional. Inside the NetBrain, same story. Every app adds more function on your tool. So this is your traditional network. We do support SDN in upcoming release. And then the video network OS, this is a NetBrain created here. First, the user have a global network view, but more importantly, user can write or download different type of app to solve the real-world troubleshooting problem, the real-world change problem, real-world network security problem, or documentation problem, here and now. So this is the kind of environment, write once, used everywhere. So that app you wrote, I wrote it here, my other guys can run that app in any part of the network, right? And by the way, make sure the app writing is point and a click, no scripting. So you don't need to do Python, you don't need to know Perl, you don't need to do shell scripting. You inside the video programming environment, actually, you can point and click, write a very complex network app. We actually just give out a free edition of NetOps, DevOps edition, that enable you to write app without buying software. And actually, I have a pin here. I just wrote app, something like, yeah. And more importantly, if this app only do simple things, okay, that's what, it's a little trick. Well, you can look into it. We can solve thousands of complex tasks, automate thousands of complex tasks. Like you do multicasting troubleshooting, you have 5 steps, right? First check RPF, then check RP, you check this routing, distribution. All those can be put into an app in a point-and-click fashion. And that app you written, you run in this sample network, and you can run that in any part of your network. So that's the power. That's many, many years of R&D we get here. We call it automation without boundary. Also, I want to say it's automation here and now. It's helping you now.
If there isn't support for a device platform, let's say a new vendor or something,
sure.
Could the user extend NetBrain to support that device platform themselves?
Yes, there's a field upgrade unit. It's actually separate from app. We call it driver. So we have hundreds of vendor models supported, but if you have a new model, new Cisco Nexus model, using its own iOS CLI, yes, you can. And Ben going to demo to you the app piece. I'm going to skip all the details here, but this automation from NetBrain can help you automate documentation, can help you automate troubleshooting, automate changes, automate security defense, and hundreds of enterprises using it. So here, it's exciting. I just talked about it. We are just debuting the free DevOps edition. In this ticket, we're in Cisco Live. If you plug that into your PC, you will see a download site. Actually, it will be released right after Cisco Live on that. This is our first free software, and you can use this software to map up to 10 node network. You can write any apps to automation. We talk about it here, whether it's troubleshooting, it's changes, and etc. We call it DevOps edition because we think through this scriptless environment, we should be able to bridge NetOps, who used to use command line, who understand the layer 2, layer 3 routing QoS, and now being forced to become a DevOps, said everything has to go through REST API. Is that true, right? Would REST API add value to network management, network troubleshooting? I'm a network engineer, became a programmer. So I really think that's just a programming limitation that forces millions of network guys become a programmer. It's not going to happen. So what do we think that with our solution, we probably can help ease those transitions. For the network guy, NetOps, you can actually write all those kind of automations without knowing how to, all the data structure means, without knowing how to write a scripting language even, right? So that's why we call it DevOps edition, right?
Does this edition, can you execute these QApps or these apps externally? So like, is there a northbound API into the NetBrain platform?
Yeah, upcoming. You write this app, you run these things. You say, well, I want to set up my ticket system, trigger a call to my app to run. It's coming. It's coming in the 7.0 release. We just released the 6.0. So currently, you write an app, anybody, another person in another part of the world, they have free edition or the commercial edition, you can run this app interactively. Okay. So 800 enterprise using this NetBrain automation, including Cisco. Cisco entire IT is on this. AT&T, BT, Boeing, GE. This all major companies are using NetBrain automation to automate documentation and the troubleshooting. But more importantly, I think with you guys, I want Ben to really show you the magic. Okay, Ben, do you think you're confident to do this? It's a lot, Fred. But yeah, I'm going to be around to answer questions, but because I'm still a techie guy. So, but Ben can do a lot better job in demoing for you.